Internally defined exceptions. These are exceptions and the related error messages that they produce that are produced automatically internally by Oracle. This is the manual page on Oracle's website for Oracle 12c for all of these exceptions. And as you can see, there's a lot of them. One error that typically shows up quite a lot inside an Oracle database itself is called an 0600 error. That happens to be an error that is not trapped at all. 0600 is an untrapped Oracle error, typically when there's a bug with Oracle and various other exceptions. Let's go back again, the back button, go back to this list. Let's take a look at a simple example of an internally defined exception. So I have a database. When I run TNS ping, it will test whether my database connection string in my network setup is actually working. This is the database connection string for the listener. I'm on my database server here. So when I type TNS ping, it tries to ping the database connection. And there's the result. Attempting to contact, OK, 0 milliseconds. What happens if I put something kooky in here that doesn't exist? It gives me an internal exception. Failed to resolve name. And this is a classic example of an internally defined exception within Oracle. Obviously, we're going to get different kinds of exceptions from PLSQL, but this is a very simple example from within Oracle itself. One can also name an internally defined exception. So first of all, I'm going to click on the top one. I'm going to pick up this and copy and paste it. Control C. So here I pasted in this thing here. Happens to be something called unique constraint. It means that you violated a unique key. We'll examine exactly what that is shortly, but essentially what I can do is I can name it unique key, and is actually 01, referred to as a negative number. And we could say null, go do this, whatever you want, exception, and we can actually name it as unique key. What would I be doing here? I would say, as opposed to my unique key error simply being accessed or executed automatically by Oracle internally, sending a message to the Oracle internal alert log and popping this ugly Oracle internal message up on the screen, I can actually trap it by setting up this declaration with a pragma exception and defining it as a simple, essentially a named internal Oracle error. I can actually pick it up. There are all sorts of other things I can do in this section here where I type the word raise. Raise does exactly the same as Oracle does. It pops it up on the screen with an ugly internal Oracle message. Doesn't look very good in the application. It's present, but doesn't look too good. I can put error messages in here. I can put in special formatting for strings and put things out in certain ways. And obviously, I can insert rows into log tables and do anything. I don't want to go through this process of actually making this function at this point, for the simple reason that we don't actually know what a unique constraint is at this point. Let's go back to our data model quickly just to identify that, to remove any confusion. And here is my data model. A unique key is, for instance, the ACT ID column on this ACT table. Every ACT has a unique ID which uniquely identifies it. In other words, it assumes that we could have two ACTs with the same name. That would be the size of it. We could have two categories with the same name or different parents, and there it would have a unique category ID. So when you try to add a row into a table that has a unique constraint on it, such as that act ID, and you add the same number, Oracle will return this error. If we had an insert statement in here that said insert, and I'm just going to put some pseudocode in here, into act, etc., blah, 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 and if it was a violation of that unique ID that is on this row here, in fact, sorry, column, I could trap that unique key error and raise it and do other stuff here, such as send out error messages, insert rows into log tables, and so on and so forth.